Hi guys, it's 9:29:12 at 3 o'clock. And anyway, I wanted to do another video today about Dr. Stephen Greer's uh, DVDs and CDs. If you haven't seen them, the Sea SETI and the Contact, Countdown, the Meditations, nonlinear meditations, and hidden truth, forbidden knowledge. These are all made for those of us who are knowing that we're part of disclosure and that we are the ones that are going to have to bring disclosure forth. In my last video, I was talking about the nonlinear thinking that he also speaks about here in these videos, and it's a spherical concept. It's something that it's kind of difficult to tell anybody else unless they've experienced it themselves. You are literally, okay, let's see if I can describe it this way. It's like a sun, and you have the rays to that sun or that star beaming out in every different direction, connecting it to everything that is. And that's probably the easiest way to say it. Nonlinear thinking can be from that center point as the sun, or for those of us who have learned how to remote view, it can be from inside the heart, seeing the universe back down in a non-linear way. Literally recognizing your connection to all that is and realizing that we are absolutely a part of all that is, and it's that level of understanding that you're trying to achieve. In my last video, and I've said it many other different times before, 3D is more of a linear thinking. It's point A to point B. 4D is halfway between the vertical thinking spiritually in 5D and that 3D, and it kind of spans the spectrum. You're in 4D thinking, your perceptions cover everything that's within the illusion, but it's still within the illusion. 5D, you're starting to have perceptions that are connected off planet, and you're living in a higher dimensional awareness, but your connection to source is still up the antichrona, because it's following you to source, to that point where you would be radiating out from. Sixth dimensional perspective is spherical, and your thinking feeling is radiating out like that sun. And that's exactly what Dr. Greer is explaining in his forbidden knowledge and contact meditations, and how they are using these meditations to call in people from elsewhere. People, ETs, ITs, they're just higher levels of us, because we are all that is. But it's how it's the technique that he's using to bring them to visit. And he's also explaining on these tapes the various levels of close encounters, and how that all works. And we're trying to bring forth first contact, and first contact is going to be encounters of the fifth kind, where we are quite literally face to face with ETs. Not needing them to do for us or us to do for them or anything like that, but to make that first contact and to begin living galactically. Many of us already do that through our meditations and through our abilities to channel messages and our higher selves, even because our higher selves are living on those galactic levels, and so many people are starting to attune to that. I wish everybody on the planet would. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in these next months and years and how all that changes and shifts. But I tell you, since the harmonic convergence 1987, opened an 1111 doorway in 1992, this planet has shifted tremendously, and I keep on wanting it to jump to the next level. Let's have a dimensional shift here. But humanity is waking up. They are. I'm just always like that racehorse at the gate going, come on, let me run. I want out of the stall. Put the gates down. And I want humanity to be that way too. I want everybody to jump into their spiritual awarenesses at light speed. And we've, everybody here knows about the timeline. Everybody that's going to be listening to my videos understands timelines and what that's all about. And, I have just wanted the timelines to merge more and graduate more towards a dimensional shift here in 2012. But there's many of us that realize that, man, people they're not waking up as quickly as we would like them to. Waking up is a process, and at least it's becoming an easier transition. Yes, I see so many people stepping into their fourth dimensional awarenesses and realizing their connections to other persons and to Mother Earth, and seeing what's going on and realizing we can't continue on the same path that we've been living on. But I want to see everybody activating their heart chakras and realizing that we are creating our realities, and let's shift this planet fast. Let's close up the biblical bottomless pit that's going on in the Gulf and all the oil leaking out of it, which is the Hopi seventh sign. Let's solve Fukushima and stop that radiation. Let's stop this pollution in the chemtrails. And we can only do that when everybody finally wakes up to the realization that we're all creating our illusion. And we join together in a unified, focused thought to shift that reality. That's what harmonic convergence was all about, that unified, focused thought. That's what opening the 1111 doorway was all about, that unified, focused thought. That's what we are doing as we activate our heart chakras, and we are stepping into our powers, and we are focusing our intent unified in ceremonies, just like Star Knowledge gatherings or any of these other gatherings that we do planet-wide. It's all unified, focused thought. And whenever we are an individual, we have power that can be represented as A. And the other individuals out there, knowing their power, are a B and a C and a D. And when A and B come together and they join their thought in unified, focused thought, then the effect is multiplied. It's squared. It's times each other. And when you have person C coming in and they join in thought, then it is times the power of each A, B, and C. And that's what we do when we do ceremonies to bring into manifestation certain things or to clean up certain areas or to heal certain areas. And that's what we will eventually do to close up the seafloor that's been compromised in the Gulf of Mexico, or the radiation that's ongoing and flowing from Fukushima. And a lot of people have kind of forgotten about all that radiation. It's still spewing out pretty heavily. Then we've got the North Sea gas leak that's going on. That's never stopped. And then we've got other nuclear issues, just like what I'm doing here in the Dunellen Crystal River area in Florida. The Crystal River nuclear power plant, it's not in the highest light right now. It's kind of leaking all over the place, according to Arnie Gunderson. And so anyway, I knew I was going to be coming back to this area, and that's possibly why my friend Kim and Randy found this particular place for me to work from. And so due west from here about 10 miles is that nuclear power plant. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Come on, people. Come on, people now. Shout on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. How do we get everybody into their hearts? How do we get everybody at least into a fifth dimensional level and state of being? That's key to shifting this planet. In my trip across country these past couple of weeks, leaving Arizona to get here, I noticed everybody, the vast majority of people, are stepping into 4D, and even here in this area. But shifting into 5D is a much greater feat, and it takes the individual focusing on that heart chakra for a long period of time. For me, it was a 5-year long process that ended in the first 40-day event that they got called for back in 2009. It took that period of time for me to release the negativities, to stay focused in the heart, to be in that in love feeling, and to know that that was what I wanted to have permanently, and to live in that state of bliss all the time. And within 40 days, in the first 40-day event, I was able to activate my heart chakra and to anchor it and to make it permanent. And I stepped into fifth dimensional awarenesses at that point. How do we get all the people on the planet to do this? They are stepping into fourth dimensional now, which is fantastic. Their perceptions is more of everything that's going on around them and less point A to point B. I want that, and that's what my focus is, and my only focus is. And how do we shift everybody into their hearts at this point? That's the question, and that's what 2012 is supposed to be about. So many of us know that this is supposed to be going on, and it's our missions to make these things happen. But how do we get people to realize that they've got to quit focusing on the illusion and turn inward and focus only on their own heart, and to forget that illusion for a period of time in order to activate that heart chakra and anchor it? That's a good question, and I'd like to hear everybody's comments on this, because it's one that I'm stumped at, and it's the next level that we've got to go to, and how we do it, I have no idea, but that's what we're here to do. That's what Mother Earth is requiring of us. Anyway, end of this video. Love you guys. Bye for now.